When I was on the football field, I was completely different. And the person across from me wasn't a person. They were everyone that I ever wanted to hurt growing up. I have a twin brother and an older sister who pretty much raised me. I love her. And my brother's my best friend. When we were maybe 2 years old, we moved down to Palm Desert. My mom took us down. We grew up in a household where, different guys were coming in all the time, and there were a lot of different drugs. Yeah, she had a really bad taste in guys. It was sporadically violent, and when it was violent, it was really violent, and there was a lot of drug abuse, and just the decisions my mom was making weren't the best decisions that you could make. There was a guy that she liked to have around that really worked for me to have around. I was a mama's boy growing up. Like, when she would get hurt by a guy, I'd want to go hurt the guy. And it got to the point where, like, kids would invite us over for sleepovers, and Dan would be like, hell yes. And I'd go to the sleepover, and then I'd feel bad because my mom was alone, and I'd get up and I'd leave. And I walked home miles before to just go home, and I'd show up at the door, and my mom would be like, what are you doing here? And I'd be like, I just want to be home. And it's because I didn't want her in the house without me. And there were times where, like, I mean, like, you hear stuff through walls, right? And when you're little, you can't do anything about it. And there was this one time where she was getting really badly beaten up on by this guy, and she told us before. She's like, look, I love this guy. He's fine. We fight sometimes. If you hear us fighting, just put your head under the pillow kind of thing. And we were 9 years old, and no pillow will block out a lot of that stuff. And it's weird being a 9-year-old and having the resolve to kill someone. And the guy, like, it was this Mexican dude. He had a gun in the table, like in the bedside drawer, and I remember, like, all night I just wanted to take the gun and go and kill him. And I hated myself every day. I hated myself for not going and doing it, because she came to a Thanksgiving with just, her face was so messed up, and she had been dragged down the street, and we heard the story, and I was so mad that I let that happen, and I let this guy get away with it. And then our aunt and uncle kind of came into the picture, and they would take us a little bit when they knew things were getting wrong, or from my sister called them up and said, you need to come and get us out of here right now. And when we were 10, we were finally adopted by our aunt and uncle. And this was, CPS came, Child Protective Services came, and they got us out of there, like, right away. Some neighbor called, and there were already some reports filed by, I think, family members. And so it was just one of those things where it was like, get the kids out of that situation.
Down and kind of, like, be exhausted, and I think that would be also down and kind of, like, be exhausted, and I can...
No, 100%. You don't do that. You do it at the fastest age.
Okay. I was thinking about going AFL as a kicker. I was the #1 kicker in California.
What?
Mm-hmm. For 8-man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Why'd you kick?
Kickers don't get respect.
Yeah,
and I was an athlete. I know. Well, I didn't know that. I was running a 4.9 out of high school, and I got a coach who helped me cut a stupid amount of time off.
And,
kind of goes back to high school. I played at a small school, and I was really good at a small school. And my coach told me that I'd never be able to play for a school like USC. This guy, God, I left the amount of blood, sweat, tears, and vomit that I paid for this man, and like I think I can remember only one time that he ever praised me. I blocked championship-winning field goals for him. I kicked championship-winning field goals for him. Never. Not a good job, never. When I was on the football field, I was completely different. And the person across from me wasn't a person. They were everyone that I ever wanted to hurt growing up. And so I would hit them very, very hard. And man, there was this one game in high school, and this is kind of what changed how I played the game, because I was playing it just so violently and so with so much anger that I didn't really realize that the people I was hitting weren't the people I wanted to be hitting. And in high school, I ended up hurting this kid really, really badly. And like, I took out everything on this kid, and it wasn't good. He had to be helicoptered off the field. Like, he was paralyzed from the neck down, and it was an eye-opening moment to me that, like, there's stuff going on in me that I need to not take out on other people. And since that game, I'd never played the same. And it's why I really stopped playing defense too. I really just stayed as an offensive guy. Okay. So that's going to hit me in about 15 minutes.
Is that Alex's friend?
Yeah.
I heard that MJ just bought a bottle.
Oh, really? It's good stuff. Dude, I was sitting, oh yeah, we were sitting on the sofa the other day, and there's a sock. I'm like, what the fuck is that sock, man? Hey, man. USC gave me a full ride, so I was like, I had to choose between going to USC and setting up a future or playing Division III football at Puget Sound, something like that. And you don't say no to USC, especially when they're giving you that kind of money. So I went to USC, and all I wanted to do was play football. I carried a football with me everywhere I went. I used to put soap on my hands and have people throw me the ball. I'd never drop it. And I'd just go in, I'd sneak into the McKay Center, I'd sit outside their offices for a 3-second conversation. Hello, my name is Milo Stewart. I really want to play football. What can I do? And they say, hey, you know what? Awesome, this is when the tryouts are. And after, you know, almost 3 semesters of them canceling the tryouts, I said, screw it. And before one of their practices, I jumped over the fence, put on my cleats, and they were starting to warm up. And then security kind of caught on. They're like, wait, this kid's not supposed to be here. So they came up to me, and I was like, oh, hey there, I'm here for the tryout. And they were, oh, we don't know anything about a tryout. Let's take you up to the coach. So I went up to Sarkeesian, and I told him, I'm like, look, I've been trying to get a tryout for like 3 semesters now. I'm not going to be in college forever. I'm not leaving until you see what I can do. And so Scott was like, fine, just get out of here. I'll send you an email, right? And I told him, I was like, if you don't send me an email today, I'm jumping the fence again tomorrow. And they didn't send me an email, and I'm true to my word. And as I was going to hop the fence, Scott saw me just passing by. He's like, no, hey, 12 o'clock today, I swear to God, I'll send you an email. And so I got the email. There was a little tryout, and my injuries really showed themselves that day. Like, I was not running very fast. I caught every ball, but then a coach came up to me and said, if you keep training with the kind of, with what you just did, most people aren't gonna dive, especially without pads on hard ground. He said, like, we'll give you another look.
And the work ethic that he has on the football field is very much respected by each and every individual.
And I started training with Joshua Morgan. We would train every single day, almost every single day, and he just turned me into a monster. I dropped my 40 from a 5.0 to a 4.47. The next time that I tried out, I ended up making the team. I was the only guy there that the coaches weren't coming up to and being like, hey dude, we love what you're doing. Where are you from? No one came and talked to me, so I started freaking out. and I was like, hey, okay, no one's talking to me right now. I can kick a ball. I can do this. Let me show you. And they're like, fine, line up. We'll let you kick a couple balls. I missed every single field goal, and I was heartbroken because like, I'm not going to get a freaking call back. And I ended up making the team, and when they said, okay, you know, Kwanzaa, you're a DB, Smith, you're a O-lineman. When they got to my name, they're like, Milo, you're on the team because you missed 8 field goals. So I was like, okay, what's my position then? Because I was going for receiver, and they're like, you're a receiver, dumbass. Even when I made the team in my senior year, I sent a letter to my high school football coach, and there were 2 tickets in it for him to come to the game and watch me play. I said, you know, and so even when he got to my game, he said, I cannot believe that you're here. I'm so proud of you. And I think that's all I was really chasing.